Good morning children, this is Sheila, your computer application teacher. Today we are going to see chapter 11, network examples and protocols. Generally, what is network? We already saw in the previous classes that what is network? It is an interconnection of your computers or any devices. And why do we interconnect everything? It is because we want to share information, isn't it? The resources are shared via your systems or devices, isn't it? Then we saw the growth of your internet. Yes, 1G, 2G and all. You people remember? Yes. Now let us get into our new lesson. Network, examples and protocols. So internet protocol is the principle of communication protocol in the internet. So generally what is protocol? Protocol is nothing but set of rules. What is protocol? Protocol is nothing but set of rules. See, when we wanted to send data from one source to the other, one source to one place to the other, one source to the other destination, one source to another, one device to the other device, what do? We need certain protocols for transferring information, for network connections, etc. Now let us see what is internet protocol. Internet protocol is used for communication in the internet. Yes, internet protocol is a principle of the communication protocol in the internet protocols for layering on datagram across the boundaries of other network. What is the main function of your internet? What is the main function? The main function is to allow internet working and boost up the internet. Why do we use this internet protocol? It is used for internet working and to boost up the internet. Internet protocol will deliver packets from source host and it will deliver to the destination host via IP address in the packet header. See, internet protocol is used to deliver packets from the source to the destination. How do you do it? Through IP address. Generally, what is meant by the term packets? Packets is nothing but your data will be carried in small parts. The full data will be divided into small packets. Say for example, one detailed answer, dividing one detailed answer into few sentences and sending it as a part. Those few sentences is going to be termed as what? Packets. Yes. So small packets, and that will be sent from the source to the destination. How do we do it? Through IP address. Each and every system will have an IP address. 192.168.3.20, that and all we used to write, isn't it? That is nothing but your IP address. Yes, Vint Cerf and Bob Cannon in 1974 introduced IP connectionless service. IP connectionless datagram service was in the transmission control program. What did they do? This Vint Cerf and Bob Cannon introduced IP connectionless datagram service for transmission. Yes, now it is actually referred as TCP IP control protocol. For transmission, now what happened? We started to use TCP IP protocol. TCP stands for transmission control protocol. IP stands for internet protocol. See, network protocols is that the usual procedures, rules, formal standards and policies comprised of formats which allocates communication between more than one device which connected to the network. Actually, network protocols have to do end-to-end process of secure, on-time and managed data or network communication. See, the next protocol is going to be your network protocols. Network protocols, see, internet protocols, your TCP, IP, everything is going to be your network protocols only. Fine. So, what is the work of this network protocol is, they wanted to have an end-to-end secure process. They wanted to send the data from the source to the destination safely in a secure manner. The data must not be stolen by the intruders. No malicious attack has to be done. Yes, for that only what do? Is we get into protocols. See, intruders is nothing but the third party. Malicious attack is a person, if he is going to try to attack, he's going to try stealing things without the concern of the sender or the receiver. It is going to be a malicious attack, an unknown attack. All requirement which combine the process on network protocols such as to carry out the communication between the routers, servers, computers, laptops and other authorized network services. So, what does this network protocol does? It just maintains the communication between the routers, the bridge where you can connect devices, and servers from where we receive the informations, your computers, your hosts, laptops, and other authorized network devices. Here on network protocols might be installed and routers in both sender and the receiver. Why do we use it? To ensure data and network communication. We apply to software and hardware nodes which communicate on network. The broad type of networking protocols includes network communication protocols is that with specific HTTP and TCP IP. What is HTTP? Hypertext Transfer Protocol, and we use this using your secure mail transaction. Yes, when you send a mail, we use HTTP. Yes, to send your data from the source, or when you wanted to access something from the server, what happens? You will use this HTTP. See, HTTP is actually not secure. HTTPS is actually secured. Network security protocol is that which implements security over network communication, and it includes HTTP, SFTP, SSL. All these are network communications only. HTTP, I told you, secure file transfer protocol is going to be for your SFTP, and secure single layer is going to be your SSL. Network management protocols will provide network governance, and it maintains and includes ICMP and SNMP. See, when there is a mail error, yes, internet error, all this will be, or if the connection has to be established, this protocol will be used, ICMP. Now let us see internet, intranet and extranet. Internet is a public accessing network, isn't it? From anyone, from anywhere can access information, isn't it? That possibility is there in your internet. Internet, the net, is a worldwide system of computer networks, a network of network where the users at any one computer can, if they have permission, get information from other computer. The internet is a network of global connections comprising private, public, business, academic and government networks. They are linked by guided, wireless and fiber optic technologies. Actually, what is internet? We already know that it is a network of network. What does it do? We can receive informations or we can send informations via internet, isn't it? Yes, that is possible. Where and all we use it? We use it in private sectors, we use it in public sectors, we use it for business, we use it for academics. Even now, you people have website access, isn't it? Academics and government networks. They are linked by what? They are linked by guided, wireless and fiber optic technologies. Actually, it is perceived by ARP, Advanced Research. It was created by Advanced Research Project Agency of US government. When did they started? In 1969. Why did they do it? The unique aim of it was to generate a network that would permit users of research computer from one university to talk to the research computers on other universities. They created this because one university wanted to share information to another university as well. They wanted to receive information. Yes, for sending and receiving information they needed a network, and that is how internet was created. But they are not precisely the same thing. Internet denotes to the global communication. See, they include infrastructures, hardware, where the web is one of the servers interconnected over the internet. Intranet. What is intranet? See, internet is a global network. Anybody can access, can share information. Intranet is not like that. Only, see, a few things can be shared within us, isn't it? Like that only your intranet is going to be. Say for example, if Danish school is located in Kollitur, if Danish school is there in Purshuvakam, if Danish school is there in Tinaga, it under one governance, I mean it is going to be under one person control. Then what happens? They are all branches. Let us consider like that. So when we wanted to share information from one school to the other, it will be possible only between the schools of ours. Danish school can share information from Kolattur to Poshwakam and Tinagar. The information can be shared only between them. The students in that schools alone can access the information. Whereas, repeat, intranet, see, already we were talking about intranet, isn't it? What did we speak about intranet? Intranet is a private network, and we were speaking about what? People from outside source cannot access these informations. It means Danishkol, if it is there, and Kolattur, if it is going to be in Poshwakam and T Nagar, informations can be shared only within them. No public can access the informations. Yes, so within the organization, though there is branches, those branches alone can access the informations because they are authorized people. Only authorized people who are belonging to that network can access the informations. People who does not belong to the network cannot access information. That is intranet. Clear? What about extranet? Extranet is nothing but your extended intranet. What is your extranet? Is nothing but your extended intranet. It is a private network actually that uses internet technology and the public telecommunication system to securely share business information. See, extranet is an extended intranet. It means it is private and few things can be shared from the public even. Say for example, we are running a business. Say for example, I am running a business, and since I am running a business, all the information within me can be shared within my organization alone, isn't it? Whereas, though customers are not belonging to this organization will come to purchase, to collect things, those people can also share my information. That such thing is called as extranet. It is a private network. It uses internet technology and the public telecommunication system to securely share business information with the suppliers, vendors, partners, customers and other business. Is that clear, children? Just have a look at this extranet. Yes, this is going to be our extranet. Which part is going to be our extranet? This is going to be our extranet. The information is going to be shared only within them. Whereas other individual users can access information to your extranet through internet. This is a private sector, and via internet others can also access. Not all. Few people can access. Yes, we already know what is intranet. It is a global network. We use TCP/IP network. Okay, over a billion of people access the informations. And why do we use it? For example, we can send email to a friend. Even to unknowns, we can send mails and receive mails, isn't it? So intranet is nothing like that. TCP/IP network with access restricted to members of an organization. Only people within the organization can use. Yes, accessing your record in the employee personal file. Example. And what about extranet? TCP network with restricted access to members, checking availability of inventory from the outside suppliers. In case if I need something, I can get it from the public. Yes. See, intranet and extranet. This part is going to be our extranet part, isn't it? Because it is a separate one, and this is going to be our intranet part. Yes, information can be shared only within the organization, and when via internet if we access something, it is going to be extranet. Yes. So applications of internet, applications of intranet, applications of extranet, you people can access, you people can learn easily. Yes. Next, let us see mobile network. Mobile networks or cellular network, as it is made up of large number of signal areas called cells. How it is made up of? It is made up of signal areas called cells. These cells join to form a large coverage area. Users can cross into different cells without losing their connection. Yes, within each cell there is a base station which sends and receives the mobile signals, and the mobile device which connect to the nearest or least base station. These base stations are connected to the digital exchange where the communication sent to other telephone or data networks. Generally, see, nothing. Your mobile network, your cell is going to be like this. Yes, why it is actually like this? I'll explain. If it is going to be in circles, what will happen is you will have certain gaps left. So what they did is they started using this such structure for defining the areas. Actually, this separates the areas. This is going to be one area and this is going to be one area. Like that, what happens is each and every area will be distributed in form of cells. For each and every cell there will be a base station. You know what is base station? A signal tower. Yes, what happens is from this base station we will be receiving signals all over this area, and there will be base station here and you will be receiving signals from this place. Yes, once when a person is traveling from this area to this area, the signal will not be lost. Why so? Because here after reaching this place, the person will receive signal from this cell. Yes, that is actually called as handoff. What it is actually called as? Handoff. Cells will often be smaller in size in large towns as the number of users in the area is more. See, in large towns the cells are in smaller size because the users are more here. Communication over mobile network is to be made of voice, data, images and text messages. Have a look at this. I already told you now. This is going to be your macro cells and this is going to be your micro cells. Yes, why so micro cells? Because here we will be using many people will be using, many users will be using net. So we need many base stations. So that will be divided into small cells. Whereas in other rural areas and all, we will not have such problem. Many users will not be using net. Such a case, we will have only one base station. Yes, mobile networking assigned to the technology and supports voice and data. Network connectivity using via radio transmission solution. How do we receive signals through radio transmission solution? Mobile networking assigned to the technology that can support data or voice. Network connectivity using via radio transmission solution, wireless. Similarly, the common application of mobile network is mobile phones, tablets, etc. What is your where and all we use mobile networks? In phones, tab and all, right? So in past, wireless communications largely used circuit switching. Long ago we used circuit switching and now we started using packet switching. Yes. So what happens is the signal will be sent through circuits. Yes, the signals will be sent through circuits. That is what is called as circuit switching. Maybe your telephones. How do we send data? You will have wires connected, isn't it? Through wires only we will be receiving information. That is circuit switching. Nowadays what happened? You will have no signals but still we receive information. That is packet switching. So you have generations of mobile networks. First generation 1981 and second generation was GSM. NMT launch, this is GSM launch. Second, third generation you had GPRS. Third generation you had 3G launch. Fourth generation was 4G. Fifth generation 2019. Now let us see NMT. NMT stands for Nordic Mobile Telephone Communication. Yes, this is your, what is it? They had very low traffic density and one call per radio signal. See, it has very low traffic density. It means, what is it? You can make only one call. Per radio channel you can make only one call. Nowadays not like that, right? We make several calls and several signals are there. It is actually divided into separate channels and it is reaching the destination. In case if it is not going to be in separate channels, what will happen? You will have a crosstalk, isn't it? So what happened is the quality of this was very poor. We had to be unsure whether the data is being transmitted, encrypted or not. What is meant by encryption? Encryption means the data will be translated into some other part, some other ununderstandable language. As it reaches the destination, it will just convert it into the original text. But thus encryption is not possible and it is actually an encrypted transmission. So what happens is people who are an intruder can access the information and they can know what is actually happening. What about second generation? Second generation is your GSM. GSM stands for Global System for Mobile Communication. And it used what 900 megahertz to 1800 megahertz for frequency bands. Yeah, here only what did we use is we started to use SIM cards. What is SIM card? Subscriber identity model. Using this only, what happened is a separate mobile number, a separate billing and all was started. Here what did we do is we started using time division multiple access, TDMA. And CDMA also started. You know, CDMA was actually used in Reliance phones where you will not have any SIM cards. Long ago, you people had Reliance phones, right? That was using CDMA. Yes. Next, your third generation. This third generation, we started up with GPRS. GPRS stands for General Packet Radio Service. Actually, it enables your mobile devices to send and receive messages. You can send picture messages, you can send emails. It allows most popular OS to speed it up to 115 kilobits per second, laterally to 384 kilobits per second. How do we do it? Through enhanced data rates for global evolution. And what about 3G? See, in 2G itself, we started to send data, started having data packs and all. Yes, that is your GPRS support. Next came your third generation. Third generation also, we started using TDMA, CDMA and all. The data rates were 2 megabits per second, and it supports multimedia, MMS and all started here. Yes. And it continued to use digital transmission. We also had SIM cards. And what happened is we also started using wideband code division multiple access. What happened is now it started up with 384 to 2048 kilobits per second. And 3G suppliers started using asynchronous transfer mode. Yes, how it is actually taking place over the air. And next came your fourth generation. What about fourth generation? Fourth generation, we started using ad hoc network. What is ad hoc network? Ad hoc network is nothing but a standard tower from which we receive signals. Yes. So 4G network is a research stage. It was based on ad hoc networking model where there is no need to be a fixed infrastructure operation. Yes, it had global mobility features. Nowadays, what happened from 4G, you need not stay in one single place to talk and all. You can keep moving. You can even make a video chat just like that by moving, isn't it? So logically roaming in assorted IP addresses. And here we started using 802.11 wireless LANs, GPRS, UMTS. All this started to be working here. Yes, and what is the speed of this? 2 megabits per second to 10 to 100 megabits per second. It offered reduced delays and new services. What about 5G? 5G targets is to perform high data rate, reduced latency, energy saving, cost reduction, and a high system capacity and massive device connectivity. Now itself it is like that only in 4G itself. 5G they wanted to increase everything. They wanted to increase the speed, they wanted to increase the clarity, they wanted to experience anything and everything which is actually of high definition. Yes, and first one will be in the release 15 complete by March 2019. Actually I don't know whether we are still working on it or not, because the second half will be on March 2020. Still we are in corona dying, right? So the ITU AMT 2020 provides speed up to 20 gigabits per second. It has been demonstrated with millimeter waves of 15 gigabits per second in high frequency. I think Japan has started using 5G nowadays, right? It has not come into existence of ours, but it has started in some countries. So the 5G new radio can be accessed at lower frequencies from 600 megahertz to 6 gigahertz. Speed and lower frequencies. See, their main aim is even at low frequency they must have clarity. This is the main aim of your 5G. Yes, children, we shall stop with this. We shall see 802.11 and all in our next session. Thank you. Good morning, children. This is Sheila, your computer application teacher. Today we are going to see chapter 11, network examples and protocols. Generally, what is network? We already saw in the previous class, isn't it? What is network? It is an interconnection of your computers or any devices. And why do we interconnect everything? It is because we wanted to share information.